I about bodybuilders dying recently. I would say what in the last 6 years, we've had a great multitude of them, and a lot of people that were like Cedric McMillan, Sean Roden, a lot of top names. Here's what I think. When I used to be on Facebook, I used to get these messages all the time. You know how they'll text you or message you, whatever it's called. In like 2015, and it was a pharmaceutical rep trying to get a hold of me, and want to talk to me about raw materials. So I started talking to one day, and then I said, "Well, I'll get back to you and everything." And they're wanting to sell me raw material, raw testosterone, cypionate, enanthate, propionate. Um, I believe suspension. Could be wrong, but I believe so on that. And a couple other steroids you could get that were made for him. Deca, Nanodrolin, one more. Can't think of it. But anyway, um, and like I said, I looked these businesses up on Google, and they're real businesses. They really say raw material. Get into, I don't know how they got it to you, but obviously, I guess they were getting it to people here in the United States. All right, a lot of that stuff comes from China to Mexico, just like fentanyl is the raw material, and they make this stuff. So you mean tell me you don't think China's sending bad steroid raw material to Mexico to set up labs, right? And start making bad steroids. Right when we started having all this fentanyl crisis, maybe a little bit later, maybe a year or two later after fentanyl crisis. All right, you don't think the cartel is involved in steroids too? There's a lot of money in steroids, a lot of money. And I know with Phenoplex, why does Phenoplex give you the trend cough? What they break it down with. That stuff screws your lungs up. You're sitting there going, and you're sitting there breathing heavy when you're trying to speak. Come on, man. I know it's weight on your body, but also this stuff just don't add up. My day in the '90s, say after '96 when it started laying off some, they always weren't like that. All the way up to 2000, no problem. I dealt them from what? When did I deal from? '96 to 2004, and I was getting out of San Bernardino, California, from a pharmacy there. No problem. Just getting Broville. No problem with it. Never had a problem with it. Holliston, all this stuff. I mean, everything you're getting nowadays, except for those 5 different mixes in one bottle. What the frick? 5 different steroids in one bottle. How do you know which one's working? I mean, it's just stupid. Stupid. Um, that's what I think. I think it's raw materials coming in. The cartel's gotten a hold of it. They're doing just like with the fentanyl, they're pill pressing stuff. They got money, obviously, to put up machines to make, I don't even know if Holliston's around anymore. It used to be Stenox. I don't even know if it's around anymore over there. But preload Sustanon, you don't even know if that stuff's even real anymore. You just don't know. But that's what I think. And I think these guys are getting this cheap steroids, and it's killing them. And it's killing a lot of guys. It's giving heart problems, especially trim balling. Back when we used to do it, when we could get Phenoplex, and there was no problem to get through the mail. And all you do is set up saying you had a king, king cattle. I'm not going to tell you why I said king cattle place. You know, where you raise cattle. You know, slaughtered for cattle. And you get slots, so you get a whole case of it, there's a whole box, big old box of it, round circle disc, and you could get, there was 10 in each disc at 20 milligrams per disc times 10 rows, which equaled, we all had that, my cat just knocked something off, so I forgot what he's up to. But anyway, that's how it was. And you crush it up, put it in DMSO, and you rub it in on your arm. Your breath will smell like garlic so bad it was unreal. Nobody was getting no trend cough. Why? That's what they're cutting it with. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. That's my idea on it. Somebody else listen to it, take a run with it. See you guys. Say bye, Mama. I gotta say bye to Mama. Mama, you're like, screw it, I'm sleeping.